welcome once again to another instalment of the Just an Insight podcast. This is episode number 11, and this week is a bit of a special one. But first of all, the introductions. My name is Tim Birkbeck. I am a writer. I'm a lover of films, music and wrestling, but most importantly of all, I am your body and vehicle through this podcast. So for those regular listeners, you will be aware this has come out a day later than normal because I've just been pretty busy over the weekend and didn't get a chance to edit everything. But we're here now, and yeah, it's a bit of a doozy of an episode, this one. As always, I'd like to give a little rundown of my week gone by. And as mentioned, I've been pretty busy, been doing some pretty cool stuff. Went and saw the film Get Out the other day, which was absolutely phenomenal. Cannot recommend it enough to anyone. If you get a chance, go out and see it. I won't give too much details or any spoilers or anything, but I have written a review of it, so if you want to check that out, it's over on the website, which is justaninsight.wordpress.com. Then at the weekend, went out for a nice little family meal for my brother's birthday, so shout out to my brother, happy belated birthday for Monday. And then Sunday I went to the Progress Show, Chapter 46, which is up in London, in Camden at the Electric Ballroom, which again, if you're a wrestling fan, when it's on their demand service, go check it out. Like, it was for their 5th anniversary, which was incredible, and trust me, it's well worth watching, if alone just for the Jimmy Havoc, Will Ospreay, the Fans Bring the Weapons match, because probably hands down one of the most brutal matches I've seen live, but it was just nuts. Like, there was pinata, there was donuts, there was barbed wire, there was even a grandfather clock. So yeah, if that hasn't sold you, then I don't know what else will. And then Monday, which is my evening that I usually edit this show, but I was actually doing proper work. I went to see a play which is called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which was on at the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton. Now, I wouldn't exactly call myself a theatre connoisseur or anything. I like going to the odd play, but it was bloody brilliant. Like, everything they did was really cool. I was really invested in the characters of the show, was captivated throughout it. And yeah, again, just something, if you get a chance and you're into plays, go check it out. And I actually did a review for this for my quote-unquote proper job. So if you want to go have a little read of that, it's over at basingstokegazette.co.uk. And that's the first time I've actually mentioned my real job. So you can now all go stalk me if you so wish and so are so inclined. Anyway, right, on to today's episode. And as mentioned at the top of the show, it's a bit of a special one. So today's Just an Insight podcast is brought to you in association with Already Heard. Already Heard is an alternative music-based website which brings you features, reviews, interviews, exclusive content of all your favourite punk, hardcore, metal and pop-punk bands. You can find all the work of their awesome writers, which includes myself, over on their website, which is alreadyheard.com, and obviously you can find them all different social medias. So facebook.com/alreadyheard, on Twitter it's at alreadyhearduk, and on Instagram, if you just search Already Heard, all one word, pop up, give them a follow. They've got some awesome live shots and things like that, which are taken from their photographers and their editor Sean, who's a pretty rad dude. But yeah, if it wasn't for Already Heard, this little chat would not have happened, and I'm really thankful that they gave me the opportunity to speak to Ed Gibbs and Paul Green from Devil Sold His Soul ahead of the band's upcoming tour, which is celebrating 10 years of the release of their debut album, A Fragile Hope. Now, this is a really cool one for me because Devil Sold His Soul were one of the bands that I was listening to quite a lot when I was in college, and A Fragile Hope just came out when I was sort of going from college into university, so that album had a lot of plays when I was in university, because being the metal emo kid that I was in my halls with a bunch of indie chav guys, then you want to play loud music and you want to play it fucking loud, so that's what I did. Anyway, again, babbling. So yeah, it was really cool to sit down with the two front guys, discuss the importance of the album. We spoke about Ed leaving the band 4 years ago. Obviously he's back now to do these shows. Whether he'll stick around afterwards, we'll wait and see. Talk about Paul filling those shoes that Ed was left, and kind of the whole situation that left him in. But yeah, I won't go into too much detail because obviously it's going to be all covered in the little chat I had. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the chat I have with Ed and Paul, and I will see you guys on the other side. So I am now joined by Paul Green and Ed Gibbs, which are the two vocalists which will be doing the anniversary show for Devil Sold His Soul. Guys, how are you doing?
Very good, my friend. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. As I said before, just like kind of winding down from work. And Ed, I understand you've just got in, so you must be pretty knackered.
Yeah, it's all right. Put my laptop down.
So obviously the reason kind of we're talking about this is obviously the 10-year anniversary of A Fragile Hope. Ed, kind of wanted to speak to you about kind of coming back into the band and revisiting the band. So for you, obviously 10 years ago when you wrote the album, did you ever think that you'd be back at this stage doing an anniversary show?
It's hard to get into your mindset back then. I mean, I probably didn't think we'd be a band in 10 years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 10 years is a fucking long time. It's not like... Yeah, it was not something that I ever would have thought about at the time, really. Like I said, it's a good time. It's a long time. It's a long time.
And
that's a third of my life.
Yeah.
At the point.
And
so, yeah, I mean, at the point where we wrote it, that's half of my life at that point. So it's all, you don't really think in terms of what you're going to be doing in half of your life.
Yeah. And Paul, for you, obviously, when the record came out, what did you kind of think of it, and what is initial kind of impact?
Terrible. Personally, it was really bad. No. To be honest, I was playing around in the scene quite a lot back then as well with Arusha and other bands. So I actually bought A Fragile Hope from the shops, which is kind of mental that we're now doing the shows. It was just different. It was different at the time. It was like that ambience, that heaviness. Not a lot of bands were doing that back then. I don't think I knew any bands that were doing it back then. And I was mostly into like skate punk and stuff when I was growing up. So the progression into metal, that was maybe one of the first sort of more metal albums that I kind of got into, I guess. Which is a weird thing to say also, but it's true. And it was great watching the guys play live down at my local dive of venue, baseball. And you a number of times. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we played. I think it was a Renoa Faye Komodo tour. We played a few on. We played a few at Mini Fest as well. Yeah, that was the one, Trowbridge. And yeah, it's a couple of times back in the day. It was good fun. Yeah.
So
it feels so long ago. It's so long. I've lost so much hair.
And for yourself now, Paul, obviously, is it a bit surreal that you're kind of going to be now on stage, like singing those songs?
Yeah, it is. And to be honest, when we were down in, so we practiced for the first time in the weekend, it was kind of, I haven't learned all the lyrics yet. I haven't learned all my parts yet. We're just working through it gradually. But it was wicked. I'm not going to lie. It was like so much fun. And as much as it's kind of bizarre doing a playthrough of an album that someone else has written, it's just wicked. It's like I'm doing Ed Gibbs karaoke. Genuinely though, it was the most fun I've ever had at band practice, I think, last weekend. Yeah, it was really good.
And Ed, for yourself, kind of revisiting the tracks, is it kind of like riding a bike that you've just kind of gone straight back into it, or is it taking a bit of time now revisiting it, rehearsing it, and things like that?
In terms of the songs, they're just sort of ingrained in your memory. We taught those songs within an inch of their lives, so it's just in my head. But the main thing was that I haven't really sung for the past 4 years. So last October I started practicing again, and the first noise that came out of my voice when I started trying to scream was just a. I think that's the same for everybody when they go back to it after a while, right? I remember going into the studio to record a recording. I hadn't screamed for, I don't know, like a year or something like that, because we just hadn't played shows. Yeah. And it was just like a strangled turkey. And yeah, it's just the way it goes. You'll be fine, man. Like, you sounded so good in the studio. It's like, yeah, wicked. So, smash it.
And Was there, when you kind of first went into, because as you say, it was the first rehearsal you had. So, Ed, was there any sense of nerves at all that you were, like, as you say, first time you kind of done it in 4 years? Or is it almost like comfortable again?
It was comfortable going in and hanging with all the guys. I would be lying if I didn't say I was absolutely terrified when we first started. So I think you guys started playing and I was like in the corner, like basically shaking, like, oh shit. But as soon as we started getting into it, maybe by like the second song or something, it's like, oh yeah, it's just really, really fun. And the funny thing is about the songs is that they're so dark and sort of just relentless. And I remember at the time we played them for so long, because obviously when you first put a record out and you don't really have the back catalogue behind it, you just play those songs just night after night.
Yeah.
We must have done those songs for 3 years until Less Than First came out. And we started playing a bunch of songs before the album came out because we only had the EP, so we had to sort of write these songs to get them into the set before we even recorded them. And because they're so dark, I remember being just before, as we started writing Less Than Curse, it was just felt really dark and really claustrophobic. Then we started writing the next sort of set of songs, and we kind of started doing a lot more variety, and it was like really nice to go out into sort of a bit more of a pleasant atmosphere at times in terms of the songs. But coming back to them now, it's just, because it's been so long since we really, really played those songs. And even Paul, Paul, you played a handful of them maybe?
Yeah, like three of them.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Hope, Dawn, Starting, and yeah, four. So and Storm.
Yeah. And just at practice the other day, it was just completely. But yeah, it was just a completely different mindset. I think potentially for everyone, we're just a bit older, and it's been a long time since we played this song. So it was really, really, really fun. And I can't emphasize that enough. It was just really, really fun.
Yeah,
it was cool. And I'm sure it's going to get, for me, more nervous towards the time when I realise I don't know all of the lyrics that I need to know.
It sounds like a noise on record anyway.
Yeah, I was like that. But the thing is, I've always struggled with lyrics, and I remember the first shows I did after the French shows, I would totally shat myself before we did those shows, and it was only a month or two to learn everything, and I just screwed up so many lyrics. It's just unbelievable how many.
The sheer volume of stuff that you had to learn.
It was scary. I just come out of like a 3-year exile from music, and that was it was pretty mental. But this is kind of on the same sort of same sort of theme, but it's half the lyrics. All right.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Thank you so much.
Have you kind of discussed how you're going to be splitting lyrics at all?
Yeah, that's what we did.
So without kind of giving too much away, are there certain songs where like one of you's got like more dominant, or is it kind of a 50-50 split?
It really does, isn't it?
Yeah, it's totally. We spoke about like certain bits that we wanted to sing. So I think the beginning of Dawn and stuff you really wanted to do, Ed, and I really wanted to do like the lead line in the starting chorus at the end. But that was about it. It was just like everything's a free for all, and it sounds wicked.
Yeah.
And we may be doing a couple of other tracks as well. We might not be. I don't know. We're scared. And we split those up, and it's just wicked. In fact, we split one up in the practice without actually splitting up. And
yeah, we split it.
You next, and it just works. It's so well. So bring it on. This is going to be wicked fun.
And Paul's green and I'm yellow.
Yeah, that's it. It makes sense. Surnames and all, you know what I mean? Obviously, Gibbs isn't.
And obviously, like you mentioned then, like you might kind of be doing other tracks, because obviously I know that the album in its entirety.
I don't remember mentioning that.
Well,
I don't think I said anything about other songs.
Okay. Let me rephrase. Obviously, the album itself is quite a lengthy album. So, have you kind of practiced any other tracks for potential extras, or is that something that you're not willing to give away?
Well, as long as when's this interview going out?
It will be before the tour.
Okay, well, I think it's fair to say that we'll do some stuff, but we're not going to say what.
Okay. That's fair enough. I guess because you want to keep some cards close to your chest, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've got to. It's all we got. That's all we got. We've got to sell those extra 83 tickets for London, otherwise we're screwed.
And again, Ed, kind of going back to yourself, obviously, when the album kind of came out, it was very sort of different to what else was around, and your vocals, for me personally, were kind of what made the record stand out. So, from a fan perspective,
the vocals
no, not at all. But like, from a fan perspective, do you think there's kind of a bit of pressure on you to kind of bring your A game at these shows at all?
We're born with it.
I mean, the thing is, Paul's going to come in and shout now, but Paul is a seriously excellent vocalist.
Shut up. You're the best.
But I mean, it's I just want to be as good as he is, so that it's like just good. You know, I mean, I just want to do.
All you've got to do is listen back to what we did at the weekend, and it's just you were well good. And you think about not singing in a practice when you have to scream and sing, and then coming back and smashing it out and nailing every note and like nailing every scream. It's just you can't buy that shit. You know what I mean? It's like that's ingrained talent. So there you go, man. It's gonna be really good. It's just I need to remember these lyrics. It's just the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. I can scream the parts and know how the noises are.
That's how it sounds on the record. It's just like yapping.
Nice.
And another thing, obviously, Ed, you've been away from kind of music for 4 years, but obviously Del Sol to Soul kind of carried on and continued, and there was other records that you've done with just yourself, Paul. So when there was kind of the initial talks of doing this 10-year anniversary, and obviously we mentioned this a little bit beforehand, Paul, when we were just waiting for Ed, that other kind of original members are going to be potentially at shows, and I don't know whether they're going to participate, but was there always a conscious thought of we want to get Ed, we want to get the original members back?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I spoke to you about a year. It must have been like 9, 8, 10 months ago. Johnny probably spoke to you first.
Only about a year ago.
Yeah, because we spoke about potentially doing it at festivals as a one-off thing. It was just one of those things. It was always gonna be right to have Ed there, and I don't know. I just want to do more stuff with Ed after this. It's just in my head. It is Ed's band more than it is mine. There's 3 albums as an EP. I've done an EP and a single, and it's the fans love you, man. And
I think what it is we've had there's been a number of people in the band over the years, and it's just our band. It's not like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, you are a big part of it, and doing these shows with you is going to be not just awesome for me, but awesome for everybody that's involved, and the fans are going to literally jizz all over the place. There's going to be wet floor signs everywhere.
And Ed, when you were asked, was it kind of a bit of a no-brainer to say yes?
I mean, Johnny's been mentioning it for a while, and then he sort of said it, and Paul said it as well. And I did have to go away and think about it, not for ages, but for a little bit, just because it's daunting, it's scary.
Yeah.
When you haven't done something for that long, you have to commit to be able to get yourself back into sort of just the abilities that you may have had in the past.
Mm.
I'm not saying that in any way I've ever been like an amazing vocalist, but I have to at least get to a point where it's not. I don't want to be the guy that comes back to, oh my god, a bit shit now, isn't he? You have to, yeah. And that was what was worrying me at first. Like, what if?
That's fair enough.
It's not going to fit. But
I mean, and that's a fair worry. Like, I think even when I was starting to think about music after like Arusha went on hiatus, it was just the same. It's like I don't know if I've got it in me anymore. To write, to play. I don't know. I'm not like the most outrageously, I don't know, chatty frontman, especially on stage. I don't like talking too much, and it's completely at odds with me. I can't stand up in a meeting at work and present anything. It just isn't me. So coming back to it, it's tough. I totally feel that, man. It's not easy.
And it's quite a demanding band to sing. I don't think there's a lot of people which don't necessarily get that. But I mean, Paul can contest to some of these songs as well. It's not easy.
Yeah.
No, then it's really good that we're splitting them up, because there's no way I'd be able to do every single line as well. I mean, it's breathless. Like it's insane.
Hadley written album.
Why did you write this album?
Yeah, he's not wrong.
But it's wicked, and it does sound so good. The guys had a practice before we came into the studio, so that was maybe like 4 weeks ago, and I think it's good for them to get that under their belts and sort of reacquaint themselves with the songs, because we can do it offline a bit more. But when you get the whole sound together, it's really cool.
Mm.
If Devil have ever had one thing going for them, it's that when we're going, it sounds a little bit like a juggernaut. It's ridiculous.
It's well good.
It's like a freight train.
Yeah. And that's kind of something else that, because I've had the pleasure of seeing you guys quite a few times, and something that keeps kind of bringing me back and others back is obviously your live performance. And as you say, when things all come together, it just sounds absolutely massive. So I know some of the venues that you're playing on this tour are kind of slightly bigger than I've seen you in before. So have you kind of thought about how you're going to, because I know one thing that you used a lot was obviously strobe and things like that. So have you kind of talked about stage aesthetics and things like that already?
Yeah. So we got our lighting guy, Tom Campbell, is working on some stuff. He's ridiculous. I mean, he does like Bullet from Valentine and While She Sleeps and massive acts like KTB. He is just skilled. He's got so many skills, and he's working on that. So that's going to be it. Basically, Avis makes us sound good. Our sound guy. Tom makes us look good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be great, and Jaeger have helped out with some stuff as well. So that's going to be kind of cool to have some bits on stage for them.
Just trying to put up the stops a bit. I mean, we're not going as far as any like ridiculous stage props or anything, or anything, but we're going to try and make it look and sound the best.
I mean, just put it this way: every penny we're getting from our guarantee is going into the shows. We're not making money from it personally.
Yeah. The figures have like about 30 quid headroom in it, I think.
Yeah, no, it's gone on agent fees. It's like we're minus £20. So we need to sell some t-shirts.
And over the time, obviously, like Ed, when you were in the band originally, and Paul, since you've sort of taken the reins, so to say, are there any songs from A Fragile Hope that have never been played live at all?
Don't know.
The full version of Between Two Words, that'll be the first time we played that live. Because we always did the single edit, which is a bit snappier, which is always good live. But I guess if you're doing an album playthrough, you can't take any shortcuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any different, so it sounds totally cool to me. I don't even. I think it's on the video, isn't it? There's a edit on that, so I haven't checked that one out. I'm not going to do it because it would just make me think it's going to be that long.
I'm sure that. But
yeah.
The funny thing is, because for years we just thought, we can't play this live. We play it at practice. It's just a bit long, this one.
Yeah.
But actually, having played it at practice, didn't feel overly long. So it works. It's a good breather for me and Paul, at least. Anyway.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's a time where we have a sip of the beer and just drink, or water, or whatever. I don't know. We'll see how we get on. Yeah.
And another thing that obviously you've done for this for the anniversary is obviously put the record onto vinyl. So was that a choice through your guys, or was it something that the label wanted to do to celebrate?
It was something we had to we kind of basically been amazing with it, but we did have to kind of put the idea into their heads for it, and you can't just, a label won't necessarily come forward and say we want to spend a ton of money on producing a vinyl.
Yeah, of course.
In a limited batch, so we're probably going to make a little bit of money from it, if that. So you have to kind of sell it to them. Like we do a tour with it. We do the vinyl. I mean, it's coming out for Record Store Day. Although I don't know if we can talk about that. I'm not sure what the deal is with Record Store Day, and it sounds like there's some real nuances in there that a little bit.
Sold off, weren't we?
I was going to say, I think it's knowledge that it is coming out then, unless I've just been really good at my job and found it.
No, it's on. It's on.
But I didn't think we were sold off for it.
I mean, we put it out when we first announced the tour. It's on the little video clip, and then we've had loads of people going, "Great about the tour. What about the vinyl? Are you doing the vinyl?" It's like, "Did you watch the video?" So yeah, it's happening.
You should actually do a vinyl. Oh really?
Yeah, really, yeah. We've done more about that. You balls. Yeah, so it is happening, and it's a Record Store Day release. So it's, I think there's some rules with that we're kind of broken already.
Yeah.
But it's something we really wanted to do. I mean, Lex put so much effort into it. And to say a lot of it's been down to him. He's sorted out all the sleeve work. Kind of went through all the production stuff with the guys. And to be fair, it's an album that came out before he was in the band, and it's he just joined when that came out. Yeah, so he's fair play to him. He's done us really proud with what he's put into it. Yeah.
And I'm kind of going to go a little bit off topic now, rather than just talk purely about the album, but I want to kind of talk about you as a band as a whole. So, Ed, obviously, it was 4 years ago when you left. So this kind of aimed a kind of double barrel question. So when you left, I'm guessing everything was kind of left on good terms, because otherwise you wouldn't be where we are now. But did you kind of encourage the guys to carry on? And for Paul, how did you end up becoming part of the band? And was it quite daunting to step into Ed's shoes almost?
It's kind of it's fun. I mean, there have been very bad luck. Definitely not, but there was definitely some disagreements about how to take the band forwards, which is why I ended up buying Wave, because I couldn't put 100% into touring life anymore. I was, late 20s, living with parents, no money, it's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of something that happened. It happened really quickly.
It was mad. So the whole thing. I remember when I got a text from Joe when I was out for dinner with some friends saying, "What are you doing band wise?" I was kind of like, "This is starting a new band." Like I couldn't really believe that. Like it was, what was happening was happening. And I've spoken to you about this, Ed, haven't I? I mean, we said, I think you look at where we are now as a band, and we're doing very minimal touring and stuff, and it's one of those awkward things. It's like it really didn't need to happen, and in some ways I shouldn't really be here right now. no, that's honest, and that's not a joke. It's just that we spoke about it. I remember sending messages to the guys before I came to the practice, just saying, the original practice, the first one I came to, just saying, are you sure this isn't something you guys can't resolve?
Yeah.
I didn't want to. It didn't feel like it was as straightforward as it should have been.
Yeah.
So, but it's not an easy thing to talk about at all. And like I say, Johnny, me, and Ed have spoken about it. Like when we went round to do the lyric stuff, I was chatting to Ed about it. It was really daunting stepping into Ed's shoes. Definitely. Like, I mean, I remember the first show I had people shouting at me, genuinely shouting at me, like, you're the imposter. You're an
What?
imposter.
No way.
Yeah, for serious.
That's mental.
And just it's been tough. You've had it tough as well, Ed. And we've spoken about that. And social media isn't a friend to anybody in any situation. And it's always like, I get a video of ours would come up, a new one that say we did a reckoning, or say we did like time or something, and those are meant to be really positive moments for you as a person in the band. And if you get something, it's always the negative comment. And as much as I appreciate people have strong feelings about stuff, it's just keep it to yourself sometimes, and
just don't be mean.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul's had a lot of this, and I've had a lot of this when I first started the band. I was getting a load of similar comments from Devil's old band, Mahomodo. It's really demoralising and emotionally just not fun. People forget that people in bands are people.
Yeah.
They think you're just like some product that they can just give a shit at.
We're human beings, It's just, you think about it, like we're just guys that like to write music and hang out. We're not some like bulletproof.
Considering actually knowing everyone in the band, we're all quite sort of shy, retiring people, and to have people giving you shit like that is just really hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's tough. I mean, I got to admit, I've grown a bit more of a lot more of a thicker skin over the last sort of 4 years. But there's been some. It's not been easy to accept some of the criticism. I just wanted to like jump down the computer and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But then sometimes that's probably not the answer. So
no.
Swings and roundabouts.
And
maybe I will do someday.
And kind of with the way that the band's kind of progressed, and obviously you're still here today kind of thing, but we've mentioned it previously that the music that you guys produce is not kind of the typical sort of metalcore or whatever that was necessarily around in the time that you first started coming about. So why do you think that the music that you've written has kind of stood the test of time almost, and the fact that you are doing this 10-year anniversary show and that people are super psyched for it, and that really are like, for instance, the London show is pretty much sold out, that they're so excited to come out to it?
I just don't think we've ever bowed to any trends. We've just written what we wanted to hear. People like that, and that's really cool.
I definitely agree with that. It's never. I mean, every album you look at it, it's kind of like it's progressed because the band's changed their sound slightly, but not massively in their own right. Without going, I want to be like that band. I want to be like that band. I'm gonna go and copy some riffs from that band. It's just been Devil's Soul and Soul. They forged their own sound.
Yeah.
Like back then, it's still present now. It's unique. You've got other bands that come around in recent years that kind of maybe use us as an influence rather than the other way around, and that's really humbling, I guess. But it's they've kept the fans because it's been like Ed says, they haven't bowed to any trends, and there's a lot to be said about a group of people that do that. Stubborn.
Yeah. No, I think kind of our crowd is reflected by the fact that we've just done. We've never had massive crowds, because when you write music for yourself, you don't necessarily draw in most of our people, I think, but we have got a bunch of people who are really quite loyal.
You have nearly played to like massive crowds, so Rammstein tour.
Cancelled a few days beforehand.
Yeah. We had the Dillinger tour that got cancelled a few days after we announced it. That was probably the most depressing moment of my life. With favourite bands giving us a tour and then getting it taken away. Like,
that is classic Devil luck. There's so many bits and pieces that we get offered and you just get pulled away. I remember we were on the motorway to go play with Papa Roach one evening, and then we got cancelled on the way to it.
Oh, no way!
So bullshit. But the Rammstein one was amazing. Was it like they chose to have a DJ instead, and especially with PA and desk?
Yeah, it was when we did Darkness Prevails, and we got offered this like Rammstein sign arena tour with like 5 shows or something. And about 2 days beforehand, they turned around and said, right, you need your own PA system and lighting rig. And we just had to turn and say, we can't do that.
Yeah.
I said, well, I can't blame them. They just had a DJ.
That's ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
I mean, it was
Man.
from the band, like management, you know, just
Just the worst.
it's all nonsense.
Yeah, we go through like booking agents and management and everybody like it's no tomorrow, just because I don't know, like they kind of, I guess we just don't have a lot of luck, and that's a terrible thing just to say, oh, it's only because of luck. I'm sort of our own making as well. There's a lot of stuff in there that our communication at times is terrible, but so bad. And we're like, you know, we don't bicker loads like some bands, but when we do, yeah. It's just one of those things. But hey, that's life.
Well, I was going to say, like, as you say, of some of these opportunities, and you said it's kind of devil sort of soul's luck, but in a way, do you think that's kind of led itself to an advantage that, as you say, you have kind of made this niche, and as you say, you haven't kind of prolifically toured for a while, but to come back...
I'm sorry to break it up.
Yeah, I did get it.
But, like, to come back and do, obviously, this tour now, that your name is still so distinguishable that people, as soon as that tour was announced, there was a massive buzz. So do you think that's kind of worked in your advantage?
I hope so. I mean, there's a couple of things with it. It's like, well, okay, we really struggle to get good support slots, and that's always been the thing for us. It's you can play as many headline shows as you like, but if you want to step up your fan base, you have to play support slots.
Yeah.
And we just never get them.
Yeah.
We're always too...
We're not enough of one thing, we're not enough of the other, and we're hard to peg into any kind of specific. So we've always, people don't really know what to do with us in terms of when we get pitched for a tour, they're like,
yeah.
But I mean, we did do that Underrecord tour once, and that was amazing. That was kind of complaining about that, but in general, it's kind of, we've just gone out on our own, and it's kind of how it's always been, really.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, it'd be great to be playing Brixton Academy with this tour. And if we could sell that out, like, it's not like we go, we're doing a dome at Tufnell Park instead. Not dissing that venue, because that's gonna be cool. But you know what I mean? It's like we play to the size crowds that we can.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily out of choice, but we're really happy that people turn up to shows. Full stop. It's just great.
Yeah.
The fact that everyone's interested is all.
Yeah. Thank you.
And with the tour itself, obviously, London being the last date, was the routing sort of consciously chosen that London would be the last show?
It's mainly just anything that's planned is just the fact that it's on weekends.
Okay.
Because we're all working.
Yeah.
Usually get like a tour routing will end up in London on the Thursday because of press. And no offense to press, but it's about the fans.
Oh yeah, no.
If we can give them a weekend to come to watch the show, we'd rather do that than have 50 guys from the press take up, or maybe not even turn up to a show. You know, and that's like, it's we've given a lot to press, and the press have given a lot back to us over the years. But this is purely for the fans. This tour, and that's why weekends are important for us to get the most people to the shows, and everyone just have a good time and not worry about work the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly that.
Kind of to round things off in a way, if you can both pick one song from the album that you're really looking forward to playing, which song would it be?
What's the first one?
The intro.
Yeah. It is a killer intro, to be fair.
That's going to be really cool.
I really like Coroner, I reckon, because it's just so good. It sounded so good in the studio.
It's like an earthquake, yeah.
Yeah, it's wicked. And when I get my scream sorted out, it don't sound like such a strangled turkey, it's going to sound sick. Yes, it'd be good. It'd be good, man. I struggled with it. It was at the end, and I had a really dry voice. It was hurting.
You definitely sang a lot more than I did with the practice.
I feel like I have to in some ways, not sing more than you, but I sing everything because I just feel like I need to get my voice in shape big time. And I've got other stuff like studio stuff going on in a couple of weeks with Arusha, so it's if I don't go in there without like my voice in tune, not in tune, up, it's and that would help as well. Just smack the auto tune on. Just be screwing it up. So I bet.
Back to the question at hand.
Yeah, sorry.
That sounds alright.
Hope's always going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That's probably like the one song that's always been consistent from day one through to now. That basically gets an error.
It's never not been in the set since like 4 years ago, and it's kind of it's always been one that everybody knows the words because it's not many to it, and also it's like such an anthem.
Yeah.
It's every song that people sing along to, so it's
it's really good live, always good live, and the crowd tend to sing it all for us, which is another added bonus.
And this is kind of more from a fan point of view, the fan in me point of view. So obviously, A Fragile Hope was kind of one of the albums that I listened to sort of constantly throughout sort of tail end of college, early university. But
where are you from?
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
Yeah.
So what shows would you have come to? Southampton.
Sorry.
So what shows would you have come to back then? Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton. Like you played the Devil's Roadshow a couple of times in Portsmouth, which I saw you at, and a couple of shows. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I think it's like shows at like the not the Brook, like the Talking Heads in Southampton and stuff. So yeah. But obviously the first EP was kind of what got me into you guys. So is there kind of ever going to be like a revisiting of that at all? Has there been talks that potentially play? Sorry.
Was in terms of playing those songs?
Yeah.
So we did toy with Like It's Your Last for these shows.
I was going to say that's the song that I want to hear. Like that's the song I love.
It's yeah. I don't know. We've talked about it. It might happen.
We haven't decided 100%.
Yeah,
although we kind of sort of have. But it's also not 100% set in stone.
No. So it's a chance, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's a big one at the moment.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about Darkness Prevails as the track as well. We did that on the last tour, I think we did, and that was just so much fun to do it. It's the first time I'd done it personally. The last tour, full stop. But the guys, it's great to see Johnny and Rick and everyone having a good time as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about vocals. Well, it's still actually it is just about vocals. But no, that was really great to put back in the set, and it got a lot of appreciation from a lot of older fans. So there's a chance. I don't know if it will end up in there.
Yeah.
The problem is, we played a couple of songs, and we all. It was like the best two songs that we've ever played. It was sort of, it's these two songs. It just is.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you which songs they are, but it just feels amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
That's cool.
Like you get that feeling when you're playing it. It's like, we've got to play this.
Yeah.
We have to.
Cool. Right, guys, thank you very much for your time this evening. Sorry if I ran on a bit late, but I hope the tour goes well, and I'm planning on seeing you guys in London, so really looking forward to it.
Thanks. Well, hopefully see you there, dude, and I appreciate your time and the really good questions as well, not the usual stock stuff, which is nice to hear. So,
cheers,
well done,
man. All right, take it easy, guys.
Later,
cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
Take it easy. See you then. Bye.
So there you have have it, folks. Thanks again to Ed and Paul for taking the time to talk to me and just being the nicest guys. It really kind of put me at ease, because I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit nervous going into this one, but no, really put me at ease. And once we got going, really nice guys. And again, thanks to the guys that already had for setting everything up. Couldn't have done it without you. As mentioned in the chat with Ed and Paul, A Fragile Hope will be coming out on a special Record Store Day release, which will be available on Record Store Day, which will be April 22nd. As for the anniversary tour itself, that's starting on April 14th in Glasgow, followed by shows in Nottingham, Bristol and London. You can keep up with everything that the band's doing on social media as always. On Facebook it's /DevilSoulderSoul, all one word. On Twitter it's @D_S_H_S, and on Instagram it's DSHS_official. And as always, you can keep up with whatever we're doing on the podcast or whatever we're doing, watching wrestling, going to shows, yada yada yada, on Twitter, which is _insight. Use the hashtag JAIPod if you want to get involved in the conversations, or you can get in touch with us directly via email, which is just_insight@hotmail.co.uk. Next week is going to be a bit of a double header, as we are deep in the heart of WrestleMania season. So we're going to be having not one but two Wrestling Roundtable episodes for next week. Going to be doing one on the NXT Takeover show, which is happening on Saturday, so I'm hoping to get that episode live on the Sunday, and then we will have the Ultimate Thrill Ride itself, which is WrestleMania. Obviously the big show's happening on Sunday. Going to be doing the chat with the guys on the Monday, so that show will go out on the normal Tuesday slot if you're interested. And as always with all the Wrestling Roundtables, love to kind of hear your views of the events. We'll potentially be live tweeting them, so get involved with it that way. Again, use the hashtag JAAPod, and I can pick up your tweets and so on and so forth that way. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for stopping by, and I will see you soon.